Hey everybody, it's the Mad Master here. I'm doing a quick video because I found something really bizarre tonight. As I was just kind of browsing Twitter. There's a few things I follow on there once in a while, and I just check it out. But I saw these articles. Um, they were just really strange. Oh, um, so okay, we're fine. I don't know what's going on with my computer here. It's just I had to log out and then log back in because I got to do some stuff on here. So there was a really weird. There's these really weird articles coming out about the recent drop in half of cases, I guess worldwide, of COVID cases, and I just some of the articles are really weaselly worded with regards to stuff. It's like there was one that I read that was like, well, we can't really say the vaccine has caused this precipitous drop in cases. And then I'm just like, okay, well, and people are just not gathering anymore. But just a couple of months ago, I heard about COVID fatigue. What happened to that? I thought people were gathering too much and being total COVID idiots, right? And it was just kind of funny because it was just like, but that's not really the funniest part of this. I'm gonna find this article, but basically, I want to read once I bring this up here. This part of this article that's just it has to be seen to be believed. Um, so, if you've been following my channel for a long time, I've done a lot of videos about this. Just this whole thing has just been so weird. A lot of just the contradictions and hypocrisies. And if you're new to my channel too, I mean, I don't want to seem like um, a denier, so to speak. I don't want to seem like I'm just like on the other side either, because I've always, kind of I've been following this for a long time, and it's just so bizarre. A lot of the stuff, a lot of these details are so weird and so contradictory and so bizarre, and that's why I talk about it. It's just one of the weirdest things that ever happened. Now, would it be weird in certain ways? Would it be weird if it followed a more linear pattern? Yes, or it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't be as weird. We said, but there's been such a politicization of all this stuff. It's just been so bizarre. And people have all these contrary opinions, shaming other people. So yeah, I've had a quite a time with this whole thing. I've had a lot of gone into a lot of the conspiracy culture with it. I'm not currently believing in some of the conspiracy stuff as much as I did. Now, that doesn't mean I don't believe that they use this whole thing to gain power or money, like the upward transfer of wealth. And some of that probably is related to, something people would call a conspiracy. I would say, and with Alex Berenson, he's called it a confluence of factors that have gone together with regards to everything that's happened. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not a conspiracy. It's just, I don't think it was a I don't think it's this huge like the new world order conspiracy thing happening necessarily. So I could be wrong, but I'm open to everything, with this. But nevertheless, it's been bizarre and a clusterfuck of you know various things that have happened with this, and politically, it's made me question a lot of things because I was an ardent left winger a year ago today. Today I was, a year ago I was an ardent left winger, and now I wouldn't really consider myself on the right, but I'm definitely not a follower of the Democratic Party by any means. I was always cynical about them anyways. But anyways, so I'm going to read this article. COVID-19 cases drop, signaling winter surge is slowing. Well, we're in the middle of the fucking winter. So and last time it was not, the surge didn't happen until, March. So fewer indoor gatherings and more vaccines are factored for the drop, experts say. Okay, so there might be some of the vaccine that has caused this. After a harsh December and January, hospitals were running out of space to handle COVID-19 patients. A number of coronavirus cases and hospitalizations have seen a dramatic decline over the last month. There was this other article, though, I swear, they were like, we don't know why. Ugh. So they talk about this stuff. Now, this is the fucking, the part of the article that really, this is really interesting. Um, an interesting part of the article. They slipped this in. You know what I mean? So you look at this part. So this is a okay. This Brownstein doctor guy. Brownstein said vaccinations have also played a small role in part so far in bringing the numbers down. Roughly 52 Americans have had one coronavirus vaccine shot so far, according to the CDC. It has some effect when you layer it with natural immunity. Now, deciphering that statement, I wonder what he could be talking about. What's this natural immunity? Oh, it's this thing that we were talking about in the summer and in the spring that various people have talked about people having. Even Fauci at one point was touting some studies about natural immunity people may have. Oh, I wonder what they're talking about. So let's take a look at this statement. Um, Natural immunity. What does that mean? Well, what does natural immunity mean? Oh, wait, that people might have some. Oh, the dreaded, horrific COVIDiots. Trump supporting word, herd immunity. Oh my God. So enough people have been infected, like with Spanish flu, and some people have natural immunity. They snuck that in really, really cleverly and snively in there. And I'm sure there's other articles that are similar. For these doctors, they're like, well, the editorial board of the magazine or the blog or whatever are not going to say, well, there's natural immunity. By the way, some people might have natural immunity because they had the virus once. Oh my God. So it's like politically incorrect to talk about natural immunity or burning itself out or herd immunity. Sunetra Gupta said similar things in the spring that it was going to happen in England. She was completely off with the timeline. Now, that does not mean that basic epidemiological truth is not true. And that was the problem that I had with people being shamed for talking about this and, basically laughed at sometimes. Legitimate medical experts. Like, there was a lot of debate, like I was debating people about how the whole thing was not, um, necessarily a case of, um, let me try to say this here. So it wasn't like global warming where you had a fringe of scientists say global warming doesn't exist, and they get touted by these people and stuff. It was actual like doctors, epidemiologists like Gupta and others who were downplaying the virus, or whatever you would say, but that's not really what they were doing. They were just looking at some of the non-political ideas, like, for example, natural immunity, T-cell immunity, possible ways that the virus would play itself out, not burn itself out, just play out. And they were censored, shunned, clumped in, and put in a box politically, and that's what happened. And regardless of if you buy that there's a conspiracy with this or not, that is a conspiracy right there. Censorship, canceled. Seeing some people just say that these people are horrible human beings that want people to die, blah blah blah. But yet again, we'll see how this plays out. With the variants thing. I mean, supposedly these variants are worse, but I remember in the summer my roommate told me about. They were like, oh, there's like 5 different variants going around. It had a little bit of coverage. He was reading about it a little bit more. About that stuff, and people aren't now. They're talking about variants, different variants being worse or whatever, more transmissible, and trying to get people to wear 5 masks or whatever. It's like just fucking ridiculous. So we're gonna see what happens though. But my whole point is that these articles are going to be loaded with these things. They're going to have people, these doctors and these epidemiologists they might slip in this little sentence here and there, and then they're going to, because it's politically incorrect to talk about herd immunity. unless it's with a vaccine. That's the way it goes. That's how it is. If you don't believe in getting the vaccine and you believe in herd immunity in a natural sense, um, you're an evil person to a lot of these people. You're evil. You want people to die. You know, it's become this political thing. And I'm not saying that I believe that people shouldn't be vaccinated or there should, it's not a matter of that. I'm not even talking about my opinion of this right now. I'm talking about how people are perceived for having different opinions and people are canceled. And it's been a lot of bullshit with this. So how could this play out? Well, I think people could have natural immunity, like mentioned in this article and some others. The articles that I like, though. There was one on Twitter, and I think it was from Canada. They're like, experts are scrambling to find out why the cases have dropped so much. They say it's because less people are actually gathering, or maybe it's a vaccine, but neither explain it. Ooh, I'm gonna find that article real quick because I think it's hilarious. I was just looking at it on Twitter. I gotta find that shit. But let me see. That one was really funny. I gotta find it real quick. I'm probably gonna put that one in the description too. Where was it? I gotta find that. I gotta find that. That was so funny. Let's see. I'm talking about lockdowns. Yeah, I don't like lockdowns, of course. Where is that? I'm trying to find it. Mysteriously, and I'll put up mysteriously in the thing. I'll just put mysteriously. No, that's some anti-Biden thing. Nope. Oh, that was. No, I can't find the damn thing. Well, they were talking about how it mysteriously dropped. That's hilarious. Now, the World Health Organization did did change the criteria, coincidentally, about because there were a number of cases and stuff. And by the way, it's kind of fucked up because what's really fucked up about this is that there was what was I saying? It's just it's like, oh, I'm trying to find this here. Where is this damn thing? All right, I'm just gonna look this up on Google instead. I found it on Twitter, but oh, here we go. Here's another article. 4 reasons experts say virus. Whoa, this is a good one. The Atlantic. I'm gonna read this. COVID cases are dropping fast. Why? Okay, so this is the one they don't want to talk about. But like I said in previous videos, the Atlantic, a little bit better than a lot of the people. So they put in third. So 4 reasons: social distancing, seasonality, which doesn't make sense really exactly. But I guess in the fall it's worse. People are gathering indoors, and then they stop, like, whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to explain this. Seroprevalence. That was the third one. Okay, we're going to put behavior. Maybe Americans finally got the hang of this mask and social distancing. Okay. Seasonality. That's not, but that really doesn't make sense necessarily. The notion of seasonality is both obvious and mysterious. Okay. I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this. The most controversial part of this: partial immunity. Okay, so I'm actually glad that this article got written because at least there is a huge. Okay, this is really funny. I'm going to read this whole paragraph. This is hilarious. Partial immunity is the virus running out of bodies. The coronavirus needs bodies in order to survive and replicate. Now has access to fewer welcome hosts. 15 to 30% of American adults have already been infected with COVID-19, according to CDC. Since people recovering from since people recovering from COVID-19 typically develop lasting immunological protection for many months at least. There's a little thing there. The number of antibodies swirling around the U.S. population may naturally constrict the original coronavirus's path forward. America's seroprevalence, that is, the number of people with coronavirus antibodies from a previous infection, is not randomly distributed across the country. Instead, immunity is probably concentrated among people who have had little opportunity to avoid the disease, such as homeless people, frontline essential workers, who live in crowded multi-generational homes. It might include people who are more likely to encounter the virus because of their lifestyle and values, such as risk-tolerant Americans who are willing to eat at indoor restaurants. Come on. Okay, this is funny. This is where the bias and ideological cognitive dissonance comes in this sentence. What I'm describing here is not herd immunity. Nothing is herd immunity, really. But it's partial immunity among the very populations that have been most likely to contract the disease, maybe narrowing the path forward for the original SARS-CoV-2. The emphasis here is on the original because we cannot forget the variants. The virus mutations may elude the immunological. We don't know that, but well, the fight tightens the importance of accelerating vaccinations. Okay, so yeah, so I don't know what to say about that paragraph, but there was an article I'm trying to find it that says, I swear it says, experts are scrambling to find out why. Well, no shit, it's like, of course that's why, partly the seroprevalence. They don't like to use that word. They don't like to use that term. Of course, they can hide it because I'm not talking about herd immunity. I don't want to. You can't talk about that. That's evil. That's what the Trump people said. The herd immunity, it's evil. And by the way, just a disclaimer: I'm not a Trump supporter. Never have been. Never will be. But it's hilarious how biased this shit is. So they're trying to make it this I don't know. So it's 50% drop in the past month or two. So mysteriously drop. I love this. Mysteriously drop. Okay. There's a lot of political stuff about that on Twitter. It's like, well, you're gonna if that happens, you're gonna have that. You're gonna have the people that say it's because of Biden being elected and all that stuff, which is kind of stupid because, but recently, the terrible thing is, World Health Organization has been blocked by China to go in and investigate the whole thing. More recently, I've seen some headlines about that, which is pretty fucked up. So I think it's pretty funny. All right, there's a lot of skepticism here. I don't know. So I'm trying to find more articles about this. I'm going to look at Google. I know this is kind of a long video now. I just think it's kind of funny. Mysterious decline. Here's another one, Washington Post. Oh, by the way, there was remember the Kawasaki thing in this Google search results? That was like the third one down. Kids die mysteriously from mysterious illness, and they tried to link to that, and then they were debunked. In recent weeks. But scientists are split on why exactly it is happening. Okay, they don't even want to talk about the seroprevalence. It's kind of funny. No, it was 60,000, not 90. Yeah, we'll see about that. They don't even say that. This article doesn't even talk about seroprevalence. Okay, so they do sneak up. They, like I said before, they sneak a little bit about, the seroprevalence. It's like experts have said 70-90% of people need to have immunity either through vaccination or prior infection. Oh, they sneak it into like the bottom of the article. It's kind of funny. A fourth, less optimistic explanation has also emerged. More new cases are simply going undetected, um, making it harder to get tested. Oh, well, okay. Well, if deaths are going down, that doesn't make sense. So, uh, okay, they say a mutation is caught. Okay, whatever. One of those rare reinfections they talk about. All right, so we'll see. It's like Washington Post is one of the worst propaganda outlets in America right now. I mean, owned by Jeff Bezos. I mean, what do you expect? He's gonna try to push this out. I mean, I'm not saying that he's like calling them up and saying, "Oh, well, let's push out the COVID thing to so I can make more billions." But I'm just saying that's fucking ridiculous. So yeah, now if like I say in other videos, with this one with these variants, there might be some seroprevalence too, because of that dreaded word T cell immunity that became a political football between Rand Paul and Fauci months back. Even though Fauci put his name to some articles saying that it might be a thing, then he denied it and all this shit because he's a lying fucking sack of shit. Because he is. You can watch any video like by Jimmy Dore or even Kyle Kalinske where they talked about how he's a lying sack of shit. They both don't deny COVID at all, especially Kyle. But it's one of those things. So we can see the next couple weeks to month. We're going to see what happens with this. I mean, if it goes down to a certain level, we know that it's not the vaccine. It's a mixture of different things, and maybe the vaccine is part of it, but it's not just the vaccine or just people avoiding gatherings, which, you go out to rural Wisconsin and people are not wearing masks and they're gathering. It's like saying that it's only that is just a pile of shit. So that's all I really got to say about that. I think it's just hilarious. These people are just these articles, and the Atlantic one was the most honest, honestly, even though it's still dishonest, kind of with its bias towards like trying to like, I'm not talking about herd immunity, really. No, I'm not really talking about herd immunity. Seroprevalence is not herd immunity. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. So that's about all.